3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of STEAM with MPL. We're so excited to have you this week for our Morse code wristbands. Before we begin, we want to celebrate everyone who did last week's activity, which was Rapunzel's Tower. We had a bunch of Rapunzels turned in. They were all amazing, but I just want to highlight super quickly our winners. So first, we have Guinevere, who did an amazing job. Then we have Callie, and then Claire and Nora's tower. You guys did an amazing job, guys. Congratulations. Again, if you want to win just like them, be sure to send your project today to mpluth@manitowoc.org, guys.
You guys did such a great job. I'm sorry I missed it, but I was really excited to see all your pictures. We love it when you can send them in to us. But today we're doing a different project. We're doing Morse code wristbands. So if you stop by the library, you might have your grab bag with you. And if you see this video and decide it's a craft you want to try, we have some bags available behind the youth department desk, first come, first serve. So to get started, you're going to want to find in each of your bags, there is this little sheet of paper, and it defines which color bead matches which symbol. So Morse code is comprised of dots and dashes. So you have a different color for dots, a different color for dash, and a different color for space. Your colors are probably different than Haley's and mine today. So for an example, on this bracelet that I made, my spaces are black, my dots are white, and my dashes are red. So your bracelet is going to look totally different than mine. But the fun thing is they will all say read in Morse code. So once you have your little slip, make sure you match your colors with the different symbols. And then there's also some fun random beads in there to like fill in the spaces. So
I can get you started on how to begin beading today. So the way I think is easiest is splitting up my colors first. So I have some extra beads on the end so we don't have any empty string when we're finished. So I just have those in piles on the sides, but then I have my super cool colors. So as you can see from our sheet that we included in your grab and go bag, the letter R, which starts read, is a dot, a dash, and a dot. So I'm going to take a dot in my colors, which might be different than yours, don't forget. A dot, a dash, and a dot. See? So it's going to look just like that, like a sandwich. And then on either side, I'm going to put one of my space colors. So now that we have our space, we can go on to the letter E. So the letter E is pretty easy. It's just one dot. So I just have to put one dot out there and then another space. Then we can move on to the letter A. A is dot dash. So I include a dot and a dash, then another space, so we can move on to our letter D, which is dash dot dot. And then we finish it off with a space. And then I have my extra beads on either side so I can add those when I start stringing them so we don't have any empty string on our bracelets. Awesome. So then I'm going to get started with stringing, and Lydia can tell you a little bit more about Morse code because it's super cool.
yeah, so to be honest, I didn't know a lot about Morse code before I started this, but I found some really great information in this book called Samuel Morse, That's Who. It's a really great book that talks about the journey that Samuel Morse took. He was actually born in Massachusetts, so he was born in America, and he was actually a painter. So he wasn't interested in doing this, but it came on him by chance. He took a ship to France to do some painting, and on his way back, he realized that news wasn't really news by the time it got to them. It wasn't new information. It took so long to get information in the 1800s. So he came up with a new way of getting information from point A to point B. He came up with a way to send electronic currents through wires to different locations. And this was something that Haley and I found that was really cool. This is a map of the original wires that they used. Look how crazy long that is. It's going from continent to continent. Could you imagine a wire from your house to your friend's house? Now try like tripling that, timesing that by 10. It was so big just to get information from point A to point B. But this meant that people could get the news right away. So it's helpful on like ships. If something's going wrong, they can get a hold of someone much faster than they would have in the old days. This book is also really cool because it has a timeline of Morse's life. So you can learn all about when he was making these awesome discoveries, like in 1840 when he received the patent for his telegraph. So this guy was really smart and he came up with such a genius way that's still used today.
Yeah, so I wanted to share a little bit more about how Morse code is used. So Lydia mentioned that people use it in emergencies sometimes. So I picked out this book, which you can see is called Radio Rescue. And it's about this 10-year-old boy. He's only 10, guys. And he lives in New York City. And he finds out that one of his neighbors uses his Morse code radio. He listens and he taps to communicate with other people about fires in the area. So he joins the Morse code people. He decides, I'm going to learn how to do it too, just like my neighbor. And what he ends up doing is he picks up a signal all the way from Florida, from New York, and he ends up saving a family from a hurricane. And it's super cool because it's a true story, and he was only 10 years old. He kicked a lot of butt, guys. He really did, and that's super cool. And I mean, that's just one way that Morse code is used. Lydia and I were thinking about all the times that we've seen Morse code, and we talked about emergencies, we talked about ships, but they also use it. Maybe you saw Black Widow use it in the Avengers, or maybe you've seen armed forces use it even still. So it's super cool, and we're super happy that we got to share it today, guys.
So the awesome thing about Morse code is not many people know it. So it's kind of like a secret language that you can share with your friends. So on the back of your instruction sheet, we actually gave you the Morse code alphabet. So now you can take a look at that and practice either with the beads, or we talked about you could blink it to each other or tap it to each other, talk just like spies do. So it's a really cool tool to learn because you can communicate in a different way. Another way you can communicate is other coding methods. So we wanted to highlight some of the great books that we have here. There's so much cool things you can do with coding. You can write out algorithms with Elsa and Anna. You can do Wreck-It Ralph ones, or there's even an Incredibles one. But I wanted to show you in this one of the examples is trying to help Anna get to the trolls. At the beginning of the movie, the first movie, she's trying to get to the trolls. And here you start in your square and you use arrows to code a path. So you're helping Anna get to her destination. So these books are really cool because they put Disney characters that we know and love into coding situations.
Yeah, and then this book also follows a similar pattern where they give you different problems to solve. But it's super, super cool because they actually use lift the flaps and different things that you can pull on the page. So as you can see on this one, you're trying to solve a puzzle so that you can get to the end over here. So depending on which flap you open, that means you can either move forward, backwards, or forward 2 spaces. And there's only one way to get all the way through all of these. So it's super cool, and it's almost like a maze, but you go through it in a book. It's super duper cool.
The fun thing about coding is it can be a simple like arrow going different places, or it can be something crazy like programming a computer. It's a whole nother language, and they're very fun to learn. So we'll put all these books out for display right when you walk into the youth department. So when you stop by tomorrow for your grab and go bag, you can check out these books. But Haley will talk about next week.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of this week's grab and go bag, next week we have a super special treat, guys. I'm really excited. I know Lydia's really excited. We are making fizzing lava slime. So not only is it slime that you get to play with, but it explodes. It explodes, guys, just like a volcano. It's so fun. And we have bags available starting tomorrow. So be sure to pick one up this week when you stop into the library, guys. And then before you do that, be sure to take a picture of your bracelet from today and send it to mplyouth@manitowoc.org so that we can give you guys some prizes next week. We're super excited to see all of the beautiful bracelets you guys made, and then see your beautiful faces in this week so that you can grab a grab and go bag for next week. Oh my goodness, so many cool things going on at the library.
And we are sad to say, but after next week, we only have one more. So there's 2 more STEAM programs. We have the Fizzing Lava Slime and then one more after that. So if you haven't had a chance to participate in our program yet, fizzing lava slime is a pretty great place to start.
Oh, yeah.
So you might want to stop by the library tomorrow and pick up a grab and go bag.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. We hope you have a great rest of your day and a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.